Hello, YouTube. It is your man G Hombre here once again. Give you a little bit of recap on what happened these past 2 days with the wild card round in in Major League Baseball. Um, I had predictions for you earlier, and hope you're happy to know I am 2-0. I did get the scores wrong. I did say Houston would win 7-4. They won 3-0 on a dominating performance by Houston's pitching staff. And I said that it's going to be a close matchup between Chicago and Pittsburgh. Chicago said, "Screw that. We're just going to whoop them," and they won 4-0. But I did say that Jake Arrieta was going to have a complete game, and that he did. Let me just give you a little bit of the numbers. Um, let's go with Houston versus the Yankees. Dallas Keuchel, like I said, did throw 6 innings, which he did because he was on 3 days rest. 6 innings pitched, only allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, got the W. And the Astros pen, they shocked me, I'm not going to lie. They threw for 3 innings, allowing no hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Shout out to them. Tanaka got roughed up, gave up 2 home runs in 5 innings pitched. Just wasn't on his A game. So Houston won 3-0. Then the other matchup, Chicago at Pittsburgh. Jake Arrieta, I mean, this man hasn't allowed more than 4 runs in the last 2 months. In fact, there's a great stat. He has, I believe, scored 3 runs. He scored 3 runs and has only allowed 4 since August. To me, that's amazing. So he went 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, 11 strikeouts, no walks. That's crucial. Garrett Cole, Cole World, 5 innings pitched, 4 runs, 6 hits allowed, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Dexter Fowler and Kyle Schwarber were just too much for him. Anyways, congratulations, Houston. Congratulations, Chicago. You guys are moving on to the divisional round. So, speaking of divisional round, I have the breakdown for my prediction for Game 1 of Toronto hosting Texas and Kansas City hosting Houston. Let's start first with Texas at Toronto. First matchup is Giovanni Gallardo versus David Price. I mean, when you make a trade for a David Price, he has to be your ace. He's going to pitch your first game. So let's go over his numbers versus Texas. Career versus Texas, or I believe, sorry, this season versus Texas, he's 1-0 with an ERA of 3, 8 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. Only allowing an average of 217 hit against him. So pretty good. At home, at the Rogers Center, he's 4-1, 2.61 ERA, 47 strikeouts in 41 innings pitched. So he's averaging over a strikeout an inning, which is phenomenal. And only allowing a batting average of 203 against him. Couple matchups to look for. There's a few hitters that hit him hard. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 hitters that are going to give him some trouble. You have Andrews, shortstop. He's 10 for 25 with 5 RBIs and 7 walks. Watch out for him. If he gets on base, he's liable to steal. Adrian Beltre, 10 for 33, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. He's licking his chops just seeing that David Price is pitching. Shin-Soo Choo, 6 for 19 with 3 RBIs. Josh Hamilton, 7 for 20 with 2 RBIs. And Drew Stubbs, 3 for 6 with a triple and 1 RBI. So David Price is going to have his hands full with those batters, but nonetheless, I think he's going to have a fantastic game. I still remember the playoffs when he was with Tampa Bay, his rookie season, coming out of the pen, doing phenomenal things for them, taking them to the World Series. Just some pitchers have it when it comes to big games, and he's one of them, in my opinion. You have Giovanni Gallardo, who also pitched in the playoffs with Milwaukee before, and he has phenomenal stats this year versus versus Toronto. Giovanni Gallardo is 2-0, 13 innings pitched, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, goose egg, a whip of .80 and a batter's average against of .136. in layman's terms, he's filthy against Toronto this year. At Rogers Center, he had one game this year, almost pitched a complete game through 8 1/3, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, no earned runs allowed, a whip of .60. So just so you know, a whip is any type of hit. So he's allowed less than a hitter per inning to get on base, and a batter's average against of 111. That's filthy. But for you Toronto fans out there, and I must go on record, I want to see Toronto versus the New York Mets in the World Series. I'll give you my reasons later. Josh Donaldson, yeah, you'll win the Cespedes. But anyways, back to the main thing. He's been shaky his last 4 starts, only posting a 1-2 record, and 19 and a third innings pitched with the ERA of 5.6. So he's not having the best confidence right now. At least I wouldn't think so. Giving up an average of 5 earned runs in the last 4 games. And then this Toronto lineup is just nasty. I mean, talk about a murderer's row. Josh Donaldson, Encarnacion, Tulowitzki, Joey Bats. Shoot, even Revere is hitting him hard. So let me give you a little bit of stats. Donaldson's 3 for 9 with 2 RBIs. Encarnacion is just, oh man, he can't wait to face him. He's 5 for 16 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 3 walks. So, you know, he sees the ball well from him. Revere is 6 for 19 with 2 doubles and 1 RBI. Tulo, Sunnyvale's own Troy Tulowitzki, is 4 for 11, 4 doubles, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. So in this matchup, I pretty much see there's runs that are going to be put up. They're not going to be at a premium. I think it's going to be a high-scoring series. Seeing that these pitching staffs, they're not the best pitching stats, but they're good enough with the offenses that they have. I think Gallardo, again, it's a coin flip. He is dominant against Toronto, but there are a few players that can hit him hard. Same with Price. Price is dominant against, or he's solid against Texas, but you know there's a handful of players that hit him well. So I don't know. I think it's going to be 7-5. 8-6 type of score, with Toronto pulling it out. I think David Price gets no decision. Gallardo gets pulled by the 5th inning. That's just what my gut's telling me. But overall, I think it's going to be a fun game to watch if you're a fan of offense. And like I said, Toronto pulls it out, winning. We'll go with 8-6. Next matchup, that same day, later in the evening, Houston versus Kansas City, Game 1. Houston has Colin McHugh, and Kansas City has Yordano Ventura. Now, quick note, the Kansas City Royals are undefeated in the playoffs when there's a start by Yordano Ventura. They're 4-0 in 4 starts. I think that may change today, or tomorrow, I guess. Kansas City, they hit .214 against Colin McHugh. But again, there's one batter in that lineup that particularly gives him some trouble. It's not a lot of data to go by, but he's 2 for 5 with 1 double and 1 triple, and that's Ben Zobrist. But then Colin McHugh has his way with a couple of their batters as well. Alcides Escobar, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Kendrys Morales, 0 for 5. Colin McHugh pitched 1 game in Kansas City in his career. That was this year. It was a victory by Houston. He got the W. He's 1-0. 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. Talk about dominant. 0 earned runs, a whip of .71, a batter's average against of .192. So then that one matchup they did not hit him well at all, and it was in Kansas City where this game is going to be played. On the flip side, his counterpart, Yordano Ventura, Houston, again, they don't hit him well either. They hit .22 average. Jason Castro does see the ball well off of him. He's 4 for 8 with a double and 1 RBI. George Springer, in 2 at-bats, well, 1 official at-bat, he's 1 for 1 with a walk, a double, and 2 RBIs. Yordano Ventura's career versus Houston is 2-1. Average ERA of 3.78. That's not bad. 15 strikeouts in 16 and two-thirds innings pitched, a whip of 1.38, and a batter's average against of 0.258. Again, these aren't flashy, fantastic numbers, but they're solid numbers. Although to me, they're not ace-type numbers. Like when you think of an ace, you think of what Keiko did to the Yankees. The one thing I want to point out that Houston had done well, that I want to give AJ Hinch a lot of credit for, the manager of Houston. He looks at matchups and he says, forget what tradition. I'm going to put them in the best position for them to succeed. So he looks at matchups. That's what he did against the Yankees. Now I know that Keiko is their ace of the staff, and that's why he went on 3 days rest. But also, he hadn't allowed a run against the Yankees, and in 21 innings, he's allowed 0 runs. So that had to play a big part in AJ Hinch's mind. Also, Colin McHugh pitched at Kansas City this season. He's got all the confidence in the world with that. Like I already read you his stats against Kansas City. So give AJ Hinch a lot of credit here for playing the matchups, putting his players in position to succeed. I think Kansas City will lose this game. Houston will win 4-2. 4-2. So again, let's recap here. I have Toronto beating Texas 8-6. I have Houston beating Kansas City 4-2. Colin McHugh will go 7 innings, get 7 strikeouts, allow 2 earned runs, and again, Houston wins 4-2. All right, this does it for me for this chapter. I hope to bring you more recaps and more predictions for the following games. Remember, October 9th, you have Game 2 of Texas at Toronto, Houston at Kansas City, and then Game 1 of Chicago at St. Louis, and the Mets at the Dodgers. That's going to be a fun-filled day of baseball. That's on Friday. Tomorrow, Thursday, 2 AL games. All right, guys, this has been Giombre signing out. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Please keep watching. Comment, like, do all that stuff. Support your boy here. All I'm doing is trying to give my perspective on how I see things playing out. Please leave your message, your comments. Hit me on Instagram at Gombre. That's at GHOMBRE. I have a Twitter. It's the same one. But again, all right. Peace. Shakas. I love you guys. Good night.